Hi, welcome to the introduction to the book of Job, notes on the book of Job to get you prepared. Now, Job chronologically is in the timeline within the book of Genesis. So you will notice that we don't even finish Genesis before Job starts to be read. Now, Job for me was one of the most difficult books to read. When I first read it and when I first opened it up, I kind of felt like it was like Shakespeare. It was sort of a way of talking that was not familiar, and some things were a little confusing. So I just want to share a few tidbits to help you out if you are new to reading the book of Job. Job is a man, according to the book, who was righteous before Yehovah, before the Creator. He did not do anything wrong that would merit the sort of punishment he got. He was somebody that took care of the poor, the orphan, the widow. He kept his path straight. He followed the Torah. He followed the ways of God. And although he did all those things, he even gave sacrifices in place of his children in case they accidentally did a sin or did something wrong without realizing it. Now, although he was righteous, that does not mean he was sinless. We all fall short of the glory of God. But he is one of the people that is celebrated for really walking the path. And the punishment or the circumstances that happened, they were allowed by God. Satan or the devil presented himself before the throne of God because he could not touch Job without permission. And if you notice in the reading, he was not even allowed to speak before God. He had to wait till he was spoken to first. And Yehovah knew the thoughts of Satan, which is why he brought it up. He's like, have you considered my servant Job? Because he knew. All right, so he opened up the conversation, and the enemy of men, Hasatan, Satan, really, really wanted to go after Job and said that the only reason that Job praised God is because God put a hedge around him. So, in a way, this is reassuring to me that God is always in control. As we go through the story, there are four of Job's friends that come to comfort him, and the first three, they do a horrible job. They're like, Job, you had some sort of sin, you did wrong, stop saying you're righteous, now you're even being rebellious, just admit it, just confess, and then maybe God will relent. And a lot of the things they say could be true. If somebody is a very wicked person, you expect that they will reap what they sow eventually. And although some of those sayings that the friends said held some wisdom, they did not actually apply to Job. And at the end of the book, God calls them out. He's like, you did not speak the truth. And that's a very scary position we get in when we judge other people. There was a fourth friend who was not such a big critic and did not falsely accuse Job like the other three did. And God in the book was silent on that person. He did not harshly condemn them like he did the first three friends. So that is the outline of the book in a nutshell. And on a personal note, you don't have to continue listening to this. This is just a personal note of my story. Uh, Job was a book for me when I read it, goodness, probably 25 years ago. I was like, I don't get this book. Like, I don't get it. And I prayed a prayer and I said, God, I don't, I'm trying to understand your word. I'm trying to understand your Bible. I don't understand the book of Job. Like, I'm not getting something. Help me understand the book of Job. And I am going to tell you, be careful what you pray for because you just might get it. I went through a season where I lost my brother. He was 18 years old. He died in a car accident. A truck hit his vehicle. There was another 16-year-old boy in the passenger side. They both died. That rocked my world. I could not even function for nearly a year. In this extended season, I had a relationship, and it was a pure relationship, and it just crumbled. I had a great job that I love, um, and I lost it because I lost my health. I got so ill, I was on disability for a year. It was so bad by the time I finally got my diagnosis, I was literally in bed for about 23 hours a day, barely able to crawl on my hands and knees to get to the bathroom or to get to the kitchen to get some food. And the funny part is, I had friends come to me with the church that I was going to, and they said the same thing that Job's three friends said. They said, you must have done something wrong. You must have committed some big sin, otherwise God would not do this to you. And I did have, the one friend who came and did not accuse me like the three others and was just like, I don't even know what to say. I just know God is God. We don't know his ways. I'm just going to sit here. I'm sorry you're going through this. And going through that painful season, I started to understand the book of Job. I started to understand how it felt to have people say to me, you must have committed a sin. You must have done something wicked. You're in sin, otherwise God wouldn't do this. I mean, talk about kicking a person when they're already down. And I knew it wasn't true, although I knew that I was a sinner, all fall short of the glory of God. I'm not perfect. I was not committing any heinous acts. I was not committing adultery. I was tithing, I was giving, I was serving. I was just really doing my best to follow the ways. I did not have any deep, dark, hidden sins. Um, but I was crushed, and I would literally cry. I thought I was going to die because my heart hurt so bad. I thought I was going to die. I mean, like, painful. It is a muscle. If you go to the gym and you work out, and if you work out really hard, sometimes you can't walk the next day because you worked out so hard. That's how my heart felt. My heart was like painfully sore from the depths of despair and just crying and not understanding why my whole world fell apart. So, but I'm here. I made it, and I lost everything. I lost a relationship, I lost my health, I lost my job, I lost everything. And even if God never gave it back to me, I was just working on being content with just me and God. There was definitely a lot of work that happened, but God did give me back 100 times more than I lost. God provided another relationship. I literally had to move from one state to another, to a tiny, small town where I met my husband, and my husband was actually born in a different country, went to New York, and then somehow came to this small town, and that's where we met. And he really did give me back 100 times more than I lost. So maybe you have gone through a time or are going through a time where your heart hurts and you feel like everything is falling apart. And you might even have people telling you that you deserve it because of something you did. But you know the truth. And God knows the truth. And He sees it. And He will redeem you and He will deliver you in His time. So hold on. Hold on to the one who knows all and the one who has all the power. So I hope you enjoyed the reading of Job. And remember, the dialogue goes back and forth. It can be kind of confusing, but hold on to the end, hold on to the redemption.